The first time I realized my wife had brought her lover to our daughter's wedding, I wasn't angry. I was embarrassed. I stood near the entrance of the ballroom, watching my wife laugh beside a man I had never seen before. She kept touching his arm, smiling at him like he belonged there. Then I noticed the way he looked at her. It wasn't the look of a friend. It was the look of a man who believed he had every right to stand beside my wife. For 29 years, I had believed I knew my wife. Apparently, I knew the woman she wanted me to know. Our daughter, Emily, had spent almost a year planning her wedding. She wanted everything to be perfect, and I had promised her that nothing would ruin her day. So when I saw my wife, Karen, whisper something into that man's ear and then kiss his cheek, I forced myself to stay calm. I walked over. "Karen," I said quietly. She turned around and froze. The man looked at me, but instead of stepping away, he calmly extended his hand. "I'm David." I stared at his hand. "I know who you are." Karen's face went pale. David lowered his hand. "Then you know why I'm here." I looked at my wife. "Why is he here?" Karen swallowed. "He's my guest." "Your guest?" "Yes." "At our daughter's wedding?" She looked around nervously. I didn't want to come alone. I almost laughed. "You're married?" Her expression hardened. "Not happily." Those 3 words hit harder than any confession. I had spent months noticing her late nights, secret phone calls, and sudden interest in dressing differently. Every time I asked, she told me I was imagining things. Now she was standing in front of me with the man she had been seeing, and she had invited him to our daughter's wedding. I looked toward Emily. She was standing across the room, smiling for photographs with her new husband. She hadn't noticed anything yet. I lowered my voice. "You're leaving." Karen blinked. "What?" "You and David leave." David stepped forward. "You don't get to tell her where she can go." I turned toward him. "You're right. I don't control her." Then I looked at Karen. "But I do control who I allow to disrespect our daughter on her wedding day." Karen's eyes filled with anger. "You're making a scene." "No," I said. "You already made the scene. I'm ending it." She grabbed my arm. "Please, not here." I pulled my arm away. "You should have thought about that before bringing him." David shook his head. "You're acting like a jealous husband." That sentence changed everything. I looked directly at him. "Jealous?" I smiled. "No, I'm just done." Karen stared at me. For the first time that evening, she looked afraid. I told them both to leave. David tried to argue, but I simply pointed toward the exit. Eventually, Karen followed him. Neither of them said goodbye. 10 minutes later, Emily walked over. "Dad, where's Mom?" I looked at my daughter and realized I had a choice. I could tell her everything and destroy the happiest day of her life. Or I could carry the pain myself for one more night. "She had to leave," I said. Emily frowned. "Is everything okay?" I forced a smile. "Today is about you. Nothing is going to ruin that." She hugged me, and I held her tighter than I ever had. That night, after the wedding ended, I returned home alone. Karen was sitting in the living room. David was gone. She looked exhausted. "I'm sorry," she whispered. I put my keys on the table. "How long?" She looked down. 6 months. 6 months. While I had been planning our daughter's wedding, my wife had been planning another life with another man. I nodded slowly. "Do you love him?" She hesitated. That hesitation was enough. I walked upstairs and began packing. Behind me, Karen started crying. "Please don't leave." I stopped at the bedroom door. "You already left," I said quietly. "You just forgot to tell me." The next morning, I moved into a small apartment. A week later, Karen called. David had ended things with her. She wanted another chance. But I had finally understood something. Sometimes a marriage doesn't end when someone walks out the door. Sometimes it ends the moment they invite someone else into the place where they promised you would always belong. And after 29 years, I wasn't going to beg anyone to stay.